TikTok, and YouTube family. It's your girl Bella. I am back up in this piece, y'all. I know it's been a while, but I had to come back and run this Nicki versus Cardi B beef, right? So, what's good? And I'm gonna try my best to do this in order, right? Because it's a lot. It's a full saga, right? So we try, I'm gonna try to pull every receipt, every jab, every moment from 2017 up until now. I'm gonna try. So if you're Team Barb or Team Bardi gang, or you just want to listen and understand this beat, you're in the right place. So drop where you're tuning in from, and let's get this party started because it's a lot, y'all. I promise you. So, why am I doing this? Because this beef is more than shade. It reflects competition, power dynamics in female rap, jealousy, legacy, and sometimes pain. Also, I want to talk about accountability. When do fans act like children? And when do artists have to grow up? This is for the culture, for respect, and for seeing the truth. Okay? So, with that being said, let's get into it. So, y'all, whew, where do we start? Well, let's start from the beginning, y'all. Now, let's go back to spring 2017, right? Now, Cardi was just rising. She dropped some bars, she gets some traction. Some say Nicki liked shady comments about Cardi bars. That's where fingers first started pointing. Now, if you recall, our homegirl Wendy Williams was around. So who better to start the show off with than Wendy Williams telling us what has went down? So let's go ahead and let Wendy tell us what happened.
City, it's the Wendy Williams Show.
There is a nuclear explosion going on in hip hop. And I am laser focused.
We could settle it however you want to settle it. We could talk about it or we could fight it out. I'm with whatever.
These are grown women with millions at their fingertips. There's plenty to go around for both of them. But Nicki has had a long, long history of battling with people. I need my list. Safari, DJ Self, numerous rappers, Tiffany Haddish, the cast of Love and Hip Hop, her own record label, her hairstylist, Spotify, Billboard magazine, Travis Scott, Kylie Jenner, and a 7-month-old baby. Kids used to be off limits, but in this day and age, when the entire world is imploding, even they're not off limits. People criticize parenting skills all the time. Who cares? Cardi B, who's been here on our show, she just made history by becoming the first solo female rapper in 19 years to top the Billboard Hot 100. Lauryn Hill was the last star, believe it or not, to be able to do this. So there was no Nicki Minaj in there. And this is nothing against Nicki, but if you'd like to plead your case, you can take it on Ellen, and I'm sure Ellen will understand. I've never gotten a Daytime Emmy for Best Talk Show Host. But if Abby, the new girl over, please. If Abby, the new girl at The View, wins, and she will because she's attached herself to a winning show, I'm not gonna lump her meat. I am not going to throw shoes. I would say congratulations, Abby. In actuality, I think it'd be pretty dope if they did something together. You know? Yeah. And while you're at it, you two, throw a bone to Little Kim and Foxy Brown.
Live from New York City, it's the Wendy Williams Show.
So, yeah, we know Wendy Williams is she has not shy to shade, right? But it was the tea back then. Like, this is not, this has been going on for a while. So let's continue.
I think that she probably will start a family right away.
She should.
And can you imagine a burgeoning belly with these burgeoning hips?
Girl, you play so much. Girl.
I mean, the plastic of it all. You know what I mean? And she's going to have a big belly, and she's short, and she's got the boobs and the hips. And I don't know what he does for a living. I just know that he did time in jail for, he's a sex offender.
Yep, he did that. He did that.
Well, she's no stranger to that, because her in jail for
sex offending.
For sex offending.
Oh, Lord.
Well, first-degree manslaughter. Now, he served 7 years in prison, and he's also a sex offender. So that means that is a manslaughter a killer?
Yes.
That's okay. So he's a killer and a sex offender.
Oh, Lord.
Well, Nicki, congratulations.
Girl. That's our man, though. That's our man.
Whoa, y'all. So just to, reiterate, this has been going on since 2017. So this is not new. And as you can see, Wendy named a lot of people Nicki had been before. So I want to take you to the full feud timeline. Because, people do their work. And we're going to see where the fingers first pointed. So you have to remember, back in 2017, when Cardi was rising, in October, they did a motor sport collab drop. Remember that song? It was a great track, but behind the scenes, it was rumors that Cardi heard Nicki's voice differently than what ended up playing. So that further planted the seed, right? So Cardi later says her version was changed. Nicki responded about loyalty, support, being hurt by interviews. And that's how this small tension started growing, y'all. Real simple. So let's go through a timeline. And I have a couple, but I think this is a pretty good one. Because it's a lot, y'all. And I'm trying my best to put this in chronological order.
Nobody saw it coming. Nicki Minaj and Cardi B just reignited their epic feud on Twitter, and this time, it's not just the fans going wild. Snoop Dogg and Selena Gomez even jumped in to watch the drama unfold. It all started with a cryptic tweet from Nicki, $4.99. Fans instantly took it as a
Okay, so that's up to date. I'm trying to find something about in 2017. I don't know. Let's see where it is. I think she did a pretty good job. There's so much, y'all. I don't know if this is the one. This is the one about how Beyonce got out the picture, but I don't think I have that one from 2017 Motorsport. But basically, that's what happened. Uh, Cardi felt like Nicki threw some shade. Nicki responded. So it was real minor at first. So then, y'all, in 2018, these artists started doing more interviews. Nicki started throwing shade. Cardi started throwing shade. They downplaying the beef publicly, but it was really bad. But, it was in the lines. Cardi says things like your idols become your rivals. Because I believe when Cardi first came out, she gave Nicki all the praise. I think she was rapping to her and all of those things. You know, let's see if we can find something like that on here. So I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find anything, but let's just see. And you know, try to be prepared, but you always miss something. Yeah, this is all. Here's something from 2018. Let's see what they're talking about. Okay, that's something about their income. So we're probably not gonna find it. Let's see.
He was the only person on Motorsport.
Oh, here we go, y'all.
I said Motorsport.
Okay, so this is the song I'm talking about, Motorsport. This is when it first all started, right? So I'm gonna go back and read what I wrote. Okay, so in October 2017, the Motorsport collab dropped. Remember, they all did this song, Motorsport. It was a great track, but behind the scenes, rumors that Cardi heard Nicki's verse differently than what ended up playing. So basically, I think Nicki went back and changed her verse. And you know, if you on a song with somebody, I guess you know you try to out rap each other. So when Nicki went back and changed her verse, maybe it's because she heard Cardi verse. I don't know, but Cardi heard Nicki's voice differently than what ended up playing. So that planted the seed. Then Cardi says her version was changed. So that's just like you go in, you work on a project in any job you do, and then you go back the next day and the stuff that you worked on has been changed. So that's disrespect, right? So Nicki responds about loyalty. I guess she felt Cardi wasn't loyal and supporting and being hurt. So this is the interview they said that she was so hurt by. And this is how it all started, y'all. Okay. So we now that we know who Nicki is as far as this time around, was Nicki always this person? That's where I'm at with this. So let's listen to Nicki with this interview back in 2017 about Motorsport.
He was the only person on Motorsport. I said, oh, that's a hit. That's out of here. I want to get on that. Motorsport.
We started all the way from the beginning.
He was the only person. Motorsport. Motorsport. Motorsport.
Okay, whatever.
He was the only person on Motorsport. I said, oh, that's a hit. That's out of here. I want to get on that one. He wanted me to get on a record call for keeps. She for keeps. I said, no, please, let's do Motorsport. He came back after and said, all the guys gonna be on Motorsport. I was like, okay, yeah, I figured that. You know, I knew that much because I knew they were working on their group album. And he texted me and he said, is it okay to put Cardi on it? And I still have the text in my phone where I said, yeah, let's do it. And that's the only story I told. You know, I said exactly how it came about. And when it was time to clear the air about that, no one did that. You know, everybody, all of them allowed me to look like I lied. And, you know, even with the scheduling conflict, she's using my hairdresser now. So even he can attest to the fact, Tokyo, he knows that there really was a scheduling conflict and it was because of him. He's the one that couldn't show up. And I texted him, I said, you know that if I don't show up the day she's shooting, they're going to act like it's because I'm doing it to be mean, you know, with the current Nicki hate train. And he wasn't able to come, you know, he had something to do, and that's fine. So I had to shoot on another day. They all knew that, especially if you're using my hairdresser now. He can attest to that. And you still did interviews and y'all all still jumped around that, and just to paint Nicki as the bad person so that you could play the victim. And that really, really hurt me because I really fully supported her. And up until this recent interview that she did, I had never seen her show me genuine love in an interview. And I could just imagine how many girls wish they could have been on a song with Nicki Minaj. And I mean, I'm not saying it in a cocky way, but like, yikes. I'm not saying that in a cocky way. I'm saying it like the first thing out of your mouth when someone asks you about a Nicki Minaj feature is, she changed her version. Excuse me? It's because of the Nicki hate parade that she felt the comfortability to address me in that manner. Motorsport. He was the only person on Motorsport. I said, oh, that's a hit. That's out of here. I want to get on that one. He wanted me to get on a record call for Keith.
So you guys, I don't know the person who she's talking about. I'm assuming, I don't know who she's talking about, but basically that's Nicki's version of what happened. Now, do we believe Nicki? I don't know. If y'all want to believe that or not. So let's keep it moving though. Hold on. Okay, so I just wanted to set up the next video. So let's continue. So in 2018, right, these artists, Nicki and Cardi, they started throwing more shade at each other. They started downplaying the beef, acting like it wasn't nothing happening, which everybody knew it was something going on, but I guess that's what they had to do, right? Okay, so 1 second. Oh, there it goes. Okay, hold on. Okay, so they tried to downplay it, but in the lines of Cardi would say things like your idols become rivals, just like I said before, and she speaks to the betrayal. So Nicki was doing interviews on the radio saying Cardi hurt her feelings. I don't know. I guess that was her interview tactic to gain sympathy because it worked. But how she framed the motorsports drama, it's still some questions, right? So then comes the Meta Gala, right? Okay, so let's go. Let's go to that night.
Ambition is the type of car that you.
Okay, so this is the night of the Meta Gala. You can see Nicki there. Cardi B is in the back right here. You see the red. Now, tensions is already there. This is the night Cardi threw the shoe at Nicki. So this is the night. And they like what, 5 feet away? I think, I don't know. Is Nicki pregnant? I don't know. Well, anyway, so that's what that was. And you can see Kelly was standing with Nicki. Not Kelly, Shade, Nicki. So, it is what it is. Oh, so here we go.
Cardi B arrived in an elaborate Dolce & Gabbana gown, vamping for photographers. Minutes later, Nicki Minaj showed up for the Harper's Bazaar party and also posed for the cameras. But when these two beauties crossed paths, watch out, an ugly melee ensued. One report says Nicki deliberately stepped on Cardi's train and then said something nasty about Cardi's baby daughter. New footage of the fight is surfaced.
Okay, so you heard that. So I guess this was the first time that Nicki said something about her daughter, and this is what Wendy Williams said in the beginning when she said that she was beefing with a 7-month-old. So this is not new, is what I'm trying to point out here today with my show, as we go through the beef. So I'm just saying, I don't have a dog in this fight. But if this is true, Nicki did say something about her daughter first, which would have been culture. She would have been 7 months old at the time.
surfacing. You can see Cardi stumbling across. New footage of the fight is surfacing. You can see Cardi stumbling across the hallway, held back by her security team. Suddenly, she lunges for Nicki, who is shielded by her security team. Moments later, there's Cardi undoing her shoe, then throwing it at Nicki. Nicki's team kept the shoe as Exhibit A. Cardi's gown was ripped in the back, exposing her backside. Her bodyguards quickly covered her with what's left of the gown. Cardi left the party with a nasty bump above her left eye. Her shoes were also gone.
Nicki, okay?
After the confrontation, Nicki returned to her hotel looking none the worse for wear. The feud between the rappers has been simmering for a while.
Welcome to 2018 VMAs!
At last month's VMAs, Cardi referred to Nicki using the B word.
And that's something that God give me that you can't buy.
Before
Well, yeah. Woo-wee. So that's what happened, y'all. You saw it right there. So, and I hadn't saw that clip in a long time. I don't know. Let me check to see what y'all saying if y'all in here. Oh, no one's in here yet. All I'm saying is that this just didn't start. This has been brewing. It's been brewing. Okay, so let's continue. So, let's go to the Fashion Week blow up. Let me put that in the, because I'm telling you guys, it is so much, y'all. It is so much. Fashion Week. Okay. Here we go. Now, this brings us to Fashion Week. Let me refresh this. I'm getting the hang of this, y'all. Gotta move. There we go. Okay. Now, this brings us to this moment. This is the moment that made headlines. This was at a Harper's Bazaar Icons party during New York Fashion Week, y'all. So Cardi reportedly lunged for Nicki. Remember, she threw the shoe. Security breaks it up. Cardi leaves with a bump on her forehead. Now, Cardi was caught lying about the bump, but we saw the bump. And that triggered Cardi. And they was making comments, Nicki, about her child. And basically Nicki lied and said that that was a line she would never cross. So Nicki denied speaking on culture on her Queen's radio. She said, "I would never talk about someone's child." And you know what? Let's find that video, because we already went off that one. So let's find the video where Nicki let's find that one, because here she goes. I mean, it's so easy to find stuff. So, it is what it is. So let's go ahead and play this. Let's go ahead and play this. Is this it? Oh, no, that's not it. So here we go, y'all. This is the video of Nicki talking about how, she would never speak on someone's child. She calls the narrative trash. She said that fight elevated the saga from fans whispers to media spectacle. Which version do y'all believe so far? Cardi side or Nicki side? Because right now, Nicki, before I judge, let's hear what Nicki said.
I want to let the world know that Onika Tanya Mirage would never, has never, and will never speak ill of anyone's child. I am not a clown. That's clown shit. I want to let the world know that Onika Tanya...
Okay, Nicki. You said that, but you did that, though. Okay. Let's keep going. So after that, y'all, there was a public talk of peace where Nicki was saying positive things only. Cardi was saying that she wants to move on, but you know how that goes. Peace is fragile when pride and egos are involved. So throughout the years 2019 through 2024, they were doing little subtle jabs or whatever here and there, rumors, little diss tracks here and there, but nothing on this level. And everybody was watching. The Barbs was watching. Bardi gang was waiting on the next move, right? So that was what? Roughly 6 years? Yeah, 6 years. 6 years, nothing, right? Not until 2025. Cardi drops her new album, Am I the Drama? Now, mind you, nothing happened from 2019 through 2024. Yeah, nothing happened, y'all. Nothing had happened until this.
Y'all really trying to figure out why the hell Nicki Minaj is throwing shade at Beyonce, and I'm trying to figure out how y'all don't remember timeline events. I'm gonna run it back for you. Way back in the day, Beyonce came out with Flawless. Who was on the remix? Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj and Beyonce was supposed to do a whole project together running on a Rock Nation, but all of that shit came to a crash and halt the day that Nicki Minaj stood up there with her pedophile brother and let the words "people should be able to love who they want to love" come out her fucking mouth. If y'all don't know nothing else about Beyonce, y'all should know that she is the most unproblematic person in the world. Anybody who brings drama or a bad reputation to her name, baby, she walked the other fucking way. And she did. As she should. Cause what you mean, anybody should be able to love whoever the fuck they want to love. Nicki Minaj could have came back from that, but no, she didn't come back. She couldn't have came back. Why? Because Nicki Minaj doubled down on the whole pedophile loving situation. When she sat up here and paid for lawyers and court fees and put money on the books of her brother and her uncle, who's a known pedophile. Y'all don't realize that after she endorsed her uncle's pedophilia, even Young Money stopped fucking with Nicki Minaj. She could have did the work to come back, but she didn't. She sealed her fate when she sat up there and married Kenneth ass. The amount of evil that you have to have in your soul to flee, go and look for a murdering, raping pedophile and marry him in order to inherit his street credibility is mind-boggling. And the reason why she did it is even more mind-boggling. Like, you're in competition with a woman who is 10 years younger than you. You went and got a husband who had a tougher street cred than the woman that is 10 years younger than you. But the problem is that instead of going to get somebody with the street cred of being tough as in they like to fight, or maybe they're a shooter, they sold a little drugs. No, you went and got somebody who's a murdering, raping pedophile. It ain't the same. Offset is known. Y'all really trying to figure out why the hell Nicki Minaj is throwing shade at Beyonce, and I'm with the street cred of being tough as in they like to fight, or maybe they're a shooter, they sold a little drugs. No, you went and got somebody who's a murdering, raping pedophile. It ain't the same. Offset is known for a little bit of violence and selling drugs. That's it. Then Kenneth ass, Mr. I'm so fucking tough, 13 years older than Offset, by the way, decides that he want to go and clap off at Offset while he's on probation, which gets him 3 years of house arrest. What? Who wants to deal with somebody who is married to somebody like that? Your husband can't go to no family functions, can't go to a park, can't take your kid to fucking school. Why would you think that Beyonce is going to want to deal with that? Huh? Never. She would never in her life attach her name to somebody like Nicki Minaj. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the problem. Because when Beyonce sat up here and said, "Ooh, honey, no, that's not a good look," everybody else turned around and was like, "Ooh, bitch, you fucked up, you fucked up." The only people who actually let Nicki work with them is these little crumb goblins like Tekashi 6ix9ine. That's why Nicki Minaj is throwing shade at Beyonce. But instead of throwing shade at Beyonce, she needs to take accountability for the fact that she's sitting up here endorsing pedophiles. Ain't no coming back from that. Ain't no coming back from that.
So,
y'all really trying to figure out why.
If you're wondering why a lot of this behavior is happening to Nicki Minaj, it's because after she went on this tirade about her brother, she lost a lot of support. Because you got to remember, she just came off a song with Beyonce. So let's go ahead and get into this brother PDF and the accusations, which bring us to the things that Cardi said in 2025. But like I said, we're doing a timeline the best of my ability. So let's go ahead and get off into it. We're going to hear what happened.
So this is what the article is reporting. The prosecutor said the boy unlocked a massive, ugly secret when he later revealed what he'd seen to a child protection worker after his sister sparked an investigation while talking to a school counselor. Prosecutor Emma Slane asked on Monday for the top punishment for Maraja, which he got, saying that his despicable crime cost the victim her childhood. The judge said his heart was like stone when it came to pleas of mercy for those who advocated on Maraja's behalf, which included letters from the defendant's sister and other supporters. So then they go on to share the letter. They're saying this: Nicki Minaj's letter dated September 19, 2016, describes her brother as the most patient, gentle, genuine, giving, selfless man she's known, and someone who came to my mother's rescue often when she endured domestic violence so that she and I could sleep peacefully at night. The rapper in the letter also accused the victim's mother of trying to extort her and asked the judge to show mercy to her brother and rethink punishing him for something he did not do. So Nicki Minaj is very much tied to the case now because that letter has come out. So now what's going on is that basically the defense attorney, David Schwartz, he was asking for the minimum sentence of 10 years for his client, and they denied that. So now what they're going to do, he speaks, and you can see Nicki Minaj's mother in the background. They're basically going to fight to appeal the case. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys this video clip. Y'all go ahead and check this out.
And a Nassau County jury just convicted rap star Nicki Minaj's brother of rape. Prosecutors say 2 years ago, Jelani Mirage repeatedly raped an 11-year-old girl at his Baldwin home. Mirage's attorney claims the child's mom made up the allegations. Now, the defense claimed it was a scheme to get Mirage's rock star sister Nicki Minaj to pay $25 million in hush money. Mirage now faces...
He adamantly maintains his innocence throughout the trial, in the probation report, through the sentencing, and through the appeal. And we're going to win on appeal.
So
There was absolute juror misconduct. I want everyone to know how it's such a inherent problem in our criminal justice system for cases like this, where someone is well known and they get thousands. I'm sure you guys saw it. There were thousands of blog articles, blogs connected with a lot of your newspapers, blogs, comments, calling him a pedophile before any piece of evidence was ever before anyone. They had already made their determinations. And the problem is those blogs, those articles got before the jury. There's no denying that. No matter what the judge said, his ruling was based on the fact that he didn't think it had a harmful effect on the jury. Certainly the jury was exposed to those articles. We proved that during the juror misconduct hearing.
All right, so you guys just saw that video clip, and I doubt he's going to win his appeal. I don't feel bad for her brother. I don't give a damn whose brother this is, okay? This could be Barack Obama's brother. It could be my brother. I don't give a fuck. You don't mess with children, point blank, period, okay? So, to me, I think this is horrible. And people trying to excuse this and try to say some type of conspiracy against Nicki, y'all need to sit the hell down. Y'all better go through those court records.
It's these Barbs, and they're like 35 and 40 years old now. And I'm sorry, but y'all too old to be allowing a woman to influence y'all, especially against something like this. Like, especially if you have children.
And read everything that he put that young girl through. And then the fact that the brother walked in on them, how horrible the brother felt having to hold this secret. Those kids went through so much abuse, it's insane. And once the mother found out about it, she did break ties with them. They went through and, caught the police and pressed charges. So thank goodness the mother did that, as opposed to keeping it a secret because of who his sister is. Because how many mothers have we heard where they know their boyfriends are molesting their daughters or their nieces, and it's like, oh, just chalk it up, you'll be okay, or what did you do to make him want to be attracted to you? As if a child can ever be at fault for what a grown man chooses to do to them. So I'm glad the mother stepped up and didn't care whose brother.
They call me Megatron. Shorty's a megacon.
They're not going to talk on that one.
It was to the point where he had to learn how to fight and just start fucking niggas up. because they wouldn't even let him rock. And he was quiet, so they thought if you quiet, you a punk. One day, he ran in the house, got a knife, came.
Somebody said, "Yup."
It was three dudes. It was like the three neighborhood bullies.
Yeah.
And my brother went. I don't know what he did, but ever since that,
They ain't leave him alone. Leave him alone after that.
Ever again.
He's older?
He's older than me.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. See, he held you down, so nobody messed with you at that point.
Yeah.
Too.
It was to the point where.
And I think it's rumors that she was also SA as a child. Because as we see, her mother, she admitted that her mother was in an abusive relationship. She said her brother would have to protect her mom. So, yeah. So, let me see. This is her brother.
In a highly publicized case, Nicki Minaj's brother, Jelani Mirage, faced legal consequences after being convicted of child sexual assault. The trial captured widespread attention, shedding light on the sensitive and critical issue of sexual abuse, especially within familial contexts. Mirage's conviction sparked discussions about the responsibility of family members.
So this would be her mother, y'all. This is her mother.
And addressing such heinous acts, regardless of the perpetrator's fame or relation. The case also underscored the importance of justice for survivors and the significance of holding perpetrators accountable for their actions.
Subscribe to Sleuthing Scams.
Yeah, so that's so yeah, that's that. So that's why Beyonce parted ways. So I just wanted to give you a little, history on that. So after so between 2019 to 2024, this is what was happening. She did the song with Beyonce. They were supposed to do a whole project together. Remember Beyonce? Remember it just disappeared. Well, this is what happened. Nicki chose her brother's pedophilia over herself, basically. Um, and also that goes to show you though, that a lot of victims don't get away from their abusers. So let's keep going. So let's go ahead and bring it back to, I think we're done with what happened. I think that's it, y'all. I think that's my version of what happened from 2017 to 2024. Okay, so let's keep going now because we and Cardi didn't dropped her album. Am I the drama? And I just want to answer that for her. Cardi, you are the drama because when Cardi dropped her album, Nicki came out of the woodworks. Because remember, from 2019 to 2024, nothing. And then Nicki started mocking her album. So I'm trying to find that somewhere. I thought I saved it, but that's something else. I can't. Did I put it on my page? Well, anyway, y'all, she was mocking her $4.99 because I think Cardi did. She did a rollout, beautiful rollout. Haven't saw that since the '90s, y'all. Um, and I think Cardi did a deal for her fans with the $4.99. But here's the tea: Nicki did the same thing. And she started questioning Cardi's sales legitimacy, saying that she was bought robots and twisting Cardi lyrics. Like it was crazy. And all Cardi did was just basically come out with her album. So Cardi fights back, calls Nicki, Nicki was calling her Barney B. I mean, it was just childish. So Cardi started fighting back. She started referencing Nicki's family. Yeah, the brother. She started talking about a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. It's so many tweets that it's I can't. It's too
I'm going to speak to this because I see what Nicki is doing and I don't like it. The Dear Black Women thing, it stood out to me. I mean,
See,
it's
that's too far in the game. That's after. I'm trying to find the $4.99 stuff, and I don't know if I'm be able to find it. I hate that. Let's see what this is. Nope, that ain't it. So anyway, y'all. So that's what happened. Can't find it. So Nicki, I'm sorry, Cardi started throwing shots. She went pretty deep, y'all, with everything. She started accusing her of Nicki of jealousy, riding her coattail, etc. So this round it started to become a little bit more personal, more ruthless, less holding back. It started to be not just about music, it started to be about legacy, identity, reputation, and this is where the stakes are the highest, y'all. So I might have to go. I should have just took screenshots of everything, but it was so much, y'all. Let me see if I put it on my page here. Let's see. Because I was trying to explain. I won't go any further. So yeah, as you can see, these they, Cardi said she was diagnosed with schizophrenia, bipolar for almost 9 years, and you're also heavy on cocaine, perks, and Xanax. You don't listen to nobody. The only person that have the power is Kenneth the Petty, the PDFer. But you know what happened with the MX saying that he takes her card, and you know, she said, I'm just letting you know, quit playing with my kids. Then she finally took a shot at her son, saying, her baby is having developmental disability. I mean, it got pretty bad. Let's see. I don't know why I won't go any further than that. Then here's the crazy part. Nicki started comparing herself to Jay-Z and Beyonce. She said that Jay-Z and Beyonce still in their poses. I mean, it got pretty bad, y'all. It got pretty bad. So let's talk about how people are saying behind the scenes, because it got pretty bad. Then Nicki played the black woman card. As you can see, she's trying to include all of us. No, Nicki, this is between you and Cardi. And the Barbs are falling for it. They're online defending this shit that she's doing, which is bad. You got psychics coming out, trying to talk to Nicki.
Help for that trauma. I worked really hard to get over the sexual abuse and the bullshit. And I was on drugs as a teenager, not a long time. I went to therapy, to doctor, to meditation, to exercise, to mental hospital, to fucking yoga, to shaman. I had to do that. It was very uncomfortable, very fucking uncomfortable. Very, very uncomfortable. Okay. Super uncomfortable. And I had to do it because I had children. So there's no excuse. And I can't, because in this country or on this planet, right? On this planet, we go, oh, they were drunk, they had a problem. I don't excuse your behavior on drugs or alcohol. That's a you problem again. Why aren't we applauding people who say, I understand you go through transition and you can be on drugs and do something you didn't mean to do and be completely remorseful. I'm not saying that, but look at how we respond to things. When somebody rapes somebody, we go, well, they were on drugs or they were drunk. As if that's a fucking excuse. It's not an excuse. It's not an excuse. Isn't the painting great? It's not an excuse. So when you have a country where they're charging you 600 and something, over 600, and I'm healthy. I have low blood pressure. I don't smoke. I don't drink. I don't eat sugar. I don't eat anything. You need to get some help for that trauma. I worked really hard to get over the sexual abuse and the bullshit. And I was on drugs as a teenager, not a long time. I went to therapy, to doctor, to meditation, to exercise.
Guys, listen. And this is for the Barbs as well. Because we got to talk about what people are saying behind the scenes. This has been going on for a while in Hollywood. The rumors are wild, y'all. This is not something that just happened, right? Because you have these Barbs like this guy right here. I'm not gonna play his video, but this is the stuff that hurts Nicki, because you guys don't want to hold her responsible, right? I mean, it's so bad that 8 years ago, Remy Ma hosted a funeral for Nicki Minaj because of her behavior. I don't know if you remember that. Some even speculate Nicki is struggling emotionally. She's unhappy in her marriage. She got so many enemies. You saw the list Wendy Williams did back in 2017. If I was to add to that list, we're talking about over 50, maybe to I say 50 to 75 people. It's just drama. We know she's using substances, but we got to tread a little careful because even though these are allegations, allegedly, Nikki, but in public lines, we see desperation, constant jabs, trying to maintain relevance when you don't even need to, Nikki. You had a whole decade to yourself where they shut out every female MC for you. You know, the things that Little Kim were saying don't seem to be off the radar now. And if you don't know what Little Kim said, I can bring that up too. It's really quick. Nikki, Little Kim warned us about Nikki. Prior to that, everybody called Little Kim a hater because Nikki was coming out. But Nikki was doing things to Little Kim behind the scenes that Little Kim was telling us about. Nikki attacks every new female artist that comes out in the game. So Cardi is nothing new. She's done it to Lotto. She's done it to Ice Spice. She's done it to SZA. She don't even rap. I can go on and on. Mariah Carey. Who beats with Mariah? Miley Cyrus. And this is just off the top of my head if I really was to think about it. You know it's more than that. And on Cardi's side, she's evolving. She's speaking up. She's finally defending her space. And fans, Barb versus Bardi, they're feeling so much of this. With this blind loyalty and toxicity. It's becoming a cycle as far as the Barbs go. So I want to call out the Barbs and fan accountability. Now, to all the Barbs out there, it's time to grow up. Yep, I'm going to call y'all out. Yep, it's time. It's time to grow up. It's time for y'all to grow up because y'all are in y'all 30s and 40s now. Y'all calling Cardi and Megan Thee Stallion and all these people that Nicki is beefing with names, defending everything she does unconditionally. And that's insecurity. You may be thinking you're doing something, but you're not. And if your fave is doing wrong, say so. Don't let the fandom blind you to reality. At some point, your loyalty means truth. Your critique is not betrayal. You're not helping Nicki Minaj. I promise you, you're not.
The drama album has some hit dogs hollering. Nicki Minaj refers to all of Cardi B's children as monkeys. But when Erica Mena called Shorty a monkey, we tried to deport her. This is crazy. Am I the only one that remembers back in her Queen radio days?
Onika Tanya Mirage would never, has never, and will never speak ill of anyone's child. I am not a clown. That's clown shit.
Cardi B claps back, speaking on Nicki Minaj's son. Bitch, fuck that slow-ass son that came out your pussy. Now he a whole 5-year-old tiptoeing around the house and can't spell his name. Cardi B also alleged Nicki Minaj's son's favorite color is 5. Oh, fuck that. Gloves is off. Nicki gotta post her son talking today. Right now. You got it after that? Shit, I don't give a fuck. I'd have flew into Tudor last night to prepare him for today. If he can't talk. Nigga, teach him Spanish. I don't give a fuck. Teach him every color. Meanwhile, Offset's on tour not giving a fuck. Oh, wow. Yeah. Turn and kick. Woo! Ooh, 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 ooh. Let me hop. She also alleged Jay-Z and Beyonce stole a pose that her and her husband had done. Niggas stealing everything but the drugs. Steal the motherfucking drugs. Nicki Minaj also threatens Cardi B's sponsors, telling them they have 3 days to cut ties or else. Bitch, your dealer got 3 days to cut ties or else you gon' OD. Cardi, please don't make another album. Nicki Minaj hires a random junkie to chime in. Don't make me reopen Nicki's brother's case. As I said, witchcraft was done in the DR, and Nicki's whole family
went so bad, y'all, that Nicki is saying that somebody put hoodoo on her. This is how bad it has gotten. And And I'm
fuck
gonna give
down.
some
That's her.
advice to Tasha K. Tasha K, you're gonna get sued again. I don't know how much Nicki is paying you, but Tasha K is one of the biggest trolls in all of this, y'all. She is keeping a lot of this bullshit going.
Her brother, and she's gonna ride for him, someone said. They found Nikki's brother's semen in her underwear. Explain that. Junkie responds, planted. Junkie for sure. Yeah. JT tells us why Cardi B's boyfriend is gay. Cardi B baby father, a gay man. Not because of how he dressed or expressed himself, but because Chris said out of his mouth. The drama
And you
album
know,
has some
we're
hit.
not even gonna bring up JT. She's so irrelevant in this. But y'all barbs, y'all too old to keep this stuff going. So where do we go from here? Where does this go? Where does all this go? Because Cardi B has said this.
We're live? Okay, reporting to you live of day 5 of the war between Bardi Gang, the Barbs, and the Beehive. Cardi B said, put your head on a swivel, because we not done yet. And shout out to Live Bites because they captured Cardi B's live stream, and I'm going to tag them below. And here's what she had to say on day 5 of this war.
Tonight, I'm not listening to Am I the Drama? I'm going to listen to some love songs tonight. Because the way I've been in Vietnam, I need to chill. And let me tell you something. I'm going to go fucking back to Vietnam. And I'm going to let bitches have their fun. Have your fun. But when I say I'm pretty and petty as fuck, hoes think they ready, they ain't ready enough. They not ready enough. But have your fun, though. I'm going to let you have your fun.
And see, when you don't understand a Libra, because Cardi's a Libra, and when you don't understand what you're dealing with, things can happen.
Poor thing. Twitter must be gassing them heavy, making them jump in the ring with the brim before they ready.
Now, in the midst of that live stream, somebody had tried to make fun of Cardi B by saying, oh, you use Partisan Fontaine as your writer. And then she posted a DM, which came from Partisan, which showed that JT also wanted him to write with her. Cardi B says in the caption, the same party that she wanted to write for her, but she has to settle for the current writer, KT. Now, while Cardi B was dragging JT, Nicki Minaj pinned another letter to Cardi B's daughter, Culture. Now, I'm going to move out the way so you can pause to read it yourself. I'm just going to sparse through it. Now, she starts
I don't
off
know
the
if
letter
you
by
guys
saying,
want to read it, but here you go.
the way so you can pause to read it yourself.
Dear Culture, truth is, I did all of this for a bigger purpose. And one day you'll understand. You're cute. You're a cute child. And lots of kids have cute little funny looking gums before they grow into all of their features. Lord. One day you will see this, so I have to say I apologize. As a child of God and queen of my community, okay, who look to me for integrity, you're an innocent child and don't deserve any of this. One day your mother, aunt, and many more will be brought to their knees for what they said and tried to do to my young prophet, beautiful boy. Take care, my darling. This isn't who I am. There's something wrong with Nicki, y'all. Let's keep going.
I'm just going to sparse through it. Now, she starts off the letter by saying that she did all of this for a purpose. And then in the middle of it, she's basically saying that she's a cute child with funny looking gums before they grew into their features. And then she goes on to say here in this portion that your mom and your aunts, they're going to be brought down to their knees, whatever that means. Then Cardi B responds back to Nicki Minaj and she says, don't give my daughter no backhanded apology. Keep my child's name out of your mouth because I'm always going to take you where you don't want to go about mine. Then Cardi B goes on to say that she's going to send whatever Nicki is trying to send her back to sender again with that hoodoo I think that they be talking about. Then Cardi B posts a letter to Nicki Minaj's son, calls him baby perk or baby or papa perk. And you can pause to read it, but I'm just going to sparse through this one again. At the beginning of the letter, she says that, or she's apologizing.
Well, I'm going to read it for you guys.
Just going to sparse through this one again. At the beginning of the letter, baby.
She said, I'm sorry. She said, Dear Papa Perk, which is a bar And if you don't understand what that means, the baby name is Nicki Minaj calls her son Papa Bear, and it's a double entendre because Cardi is allegedly saying that Nicki is popping perks. So the Papa Perk is saying that while she was pregnant, she was Papa Perks. Papa Perk. Okay, got it. Dear Papa Perk, I'm sorry that your mommy haven't cut you a birthday cake for the past 3 days because she can't take my success or happiness, which is true. One day you're going to grow up, and I hope you understand when a girl says no, it means no. Oh my goodness. And you can overcome the pedophilia blood you inherited from your grandfather. Oh my God. Father and uncle. Please don't hate me when you grow up because your mommy rather give, I don't know what that says. I guess her attention that she gives you carefully when somebody need to put her in rehab needs to come out and read you a book, I think.
And you can pause to read it, but I'm just going to sparse through this one again. At the beginning of the letter, she says that, or she's a child. There it is. And then finally, Cardi B wraps it up by saying they hope that they send his mom, Nicki Minaj, to rehab because that's the help that she needs. Now, if I get any more news from the battleground, I'll keep y'all posted. But keep your head on a swivel.
So I think that's up to date. I think we're up to date. I think I've brought you this far on the Nicki and Cardi's beef. It's a lot. And trust me, I didn't even show you half the tweets because it's so many tweets. It's so many. So where do they go from here, y'all? Do they drop diss tracks? I don't think a reconciliation is possible. I think Nicki's legacy is going to define her now. I think people are starting to open their eyes. I think Cardi's moving with momentum. I think Cardi's going to be, album is going to be more successful. Nicki got to decide if she's doubling down or evolving. And her fans, the Barbs, old ass Barbaras, you got to stop and hold her accountable. If you really love Nicki and you really her fan, hold her accountable. You can still but help her. You can still support her. But this is not the time to be lying, you know? I mean, if she's allegedly using drugs, it's not a good look, y'all. So you got to start watching legends, but you got to demand integrity, not just brand damage control. Like I said, you're not helping her. So, okay, y'all, that breaks it down for me. Who's going to win this round? What was your favorite or worst moment in the feud? Because, like you heard Cardi, it's not over and it's day 5. It's day 6 now, I think. 7, one of these days. So drop it in the comments. Let's talk the receipts, facts only. I'll read some. I'll come back and give you some shots out if you comment. Let's get into it. So my final thoughts on this is Cardi is going to redefine her narrative. She's not playing backup for nobody. Nicki is trapped sometimes by her past. I hope she gets the help she needs. Her legacy, her fans, and her expectations. I hope y'all push her to get the help she needs. If Nicki don't evolve, she might lose more than her crown. She's going to lose a lot of respect, which she already have. People have already started deleting Nicki and not supporting her because of the kid stuff coming at culture and things like that. So she's lost some respect, but both are human, both are capable of missteps. But we need all the instigators to stay the fuck back, like Tasha K and all these other people who's egging on this. But this conversation have power. This is not gossip. We're trying to analyze our culture, industry, and identity. So if you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button, share, subscribe. Again, I'm asking you guys to help me get to 1,000. I know I've been gone. It's been a lot going on. I also have a new show dropping. It's going to be strictly sports. I'm tired of mixing the two. So let me know what you want me to talk about next. Until the next time, stay woke, stay real. I'm out, y'all. Peace.